everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is C. I am a self-taught jewelry maker. Here in this channel, I share a lot about tutorial videos and behind the scenes. I also share a little bit of my life. So I have this request from my daughter's best friend to be making a ring. She requested to have a ring with stone, but I think for a little girl, well, you might not agree with me, but I was proposing something else to her and she agreed with it. On my part, I have not yet made the ring, so I'm going to be taking this camera along with me and I'll show you what I do. Just a little bit introduction about this ring. It's going to be made in 18 gauge wire. However, if you prefer to make it in 16 gauge wire, I think it would look very nice. That's all I'm going to tell you about it. So without too much chit chat, because last week I spent 3 minutes on the introduction and I feel like it's a little bit too long. Zip, let's go to the bench. Let's imagine that the ring that we're going to make is drawn by a straight line. Okay, because it's a wire and makes sense, right? Which is exactly what I'm going to do. The diameter of the ring will be lines, and in front I have an open circle, right? So this is going to be connected here, and bam, that's how the ring is going to look like. So first I'm going to force the wire like this. Let's make it closer. Okay, I'm going to force the wire in a circle like a perfect round, and I'm going to extend this and reunite it to the other end. I don't know if you can imagine this. So it's going to be a ring here, and then you have your finger here in the middle. I'm going to solder here and solder here using rose gold filled wire. For the length of the wire, I need 7 centimeter for the size 10. This is just an example, okay, because of obviously a little girl doesn't have the size 10. Her size is 6.5. I'm drawing a line, 7 centimeter of a line, and I'm going to subtract 1.3 centimeter. Because the diameter that I want for the circle is 1.3, and this I know for sure that I need 4 centimeter wire for the perimeter. I'm going to subtract the 1.3 and instead I'm adding 4 centimeter to make a circle. So this is 5.7 because 7 minus 1.3 is 547, and then the circle will be 4 centimeter. So the wire total that I need to make the size 10 USA is 9.7 centimeter. Okay, I think this is quite clear. So now we're going to the bench and then working on our ring. With this 18 gauge rose gold filled wire, make 10 millimeter circles using a pair of adequate pliers. Remember, I want it to be 1.3 diameter, so the pliers diameter is around 11, adding the both sides of the thickness of the ring 1 millimeter each, it arrives at 13 millimeters. Next, the flat nose pliers and just fold 90 degrees. The third pliers I'm using is to form the bigger circle that is perpendicular to that little one we made. It will make a circle all the way down to the other side of the little circle, and please make sure that they are right in the middle. If you draw a line across it, it would have the same size. Right now, I am adjusting the edges so they can touch and positioned correctly. Alright, once I know that it is positioned correctly, I'm going to open the both circles so that I can flatten the extremities for these to be soldered together.
If you've watched my other video, you may know that I like to use this diamond disc to flatten the edges of my wire. It takes 2 seconds to use this, while with a needle file it will definitely take longer. Once we shave both of the sides, I am returning it back to the original shape. Take your time with this step. The accuracy of the placement will definitely define the beauty of your ring. In order to find out if you have filed the edges flat and positioned them correctly, is to bring the piece to the light. If you see a light passing between the gap, then you need to file it flatter or fix the position. The idea is not to have the gap at all, and that there's a bit of a tension between the two sides. As for my ring, I had to adjust where I file it. Since it meets right at the angle, I need to file it slightly on a bias. I did the correction off camera, so let's just now carry on to the next step, which is soldering. First, I'm setting it up. I prefer to use a third hand for stability, but don't keep it completely suspended in the air, because I actually rest the ring on the soldering block so the heat can reflect back onto the metal thanks to the nature of the block's material. Next, I'm applying the flux all over the piece. Even though I won't be heating the entire ring, I'd rather be safe than sorry. The flux helps protect the metal from overheating and prevents the gold layer from melting. This is easy solder paste for 14 karat gold, which matches the carat of the gold layer in the gold filled material. When soldering gold filled pieces, I use 3-second rule. Heat the piece for 3 seconds and then move the flame away for 1 second and repeat. This helps prevent overheating and protects the gold layer from melting. I'm holding the torch in my left hand and the titanium pick in my right, just in case the solder starts to move around, which it did. I'm filming the entire process without any cuts, so you can exactly see how the solder melts from start to finish. This way, you can get a real sense of how long it takes to solder a piece like this. When it's done, the ideal thing is to wait for the piece to cool down completely, but most of the time I end up burning myself out of impatience. I remove it from the cross-lock tweezers and check the quality of the solder. Oops, I didn't solder on one side properly, so back to square one. This time I reposition the ring. And also, I'm going to shoot my camera so you can see my soldering movement more clearly. Since you've already seen how the solder melts, I wanted to show you the gesture in more detail, so now the camera is right in front of me. Here I apply the flux all over the piece generously and fire! Let's check the result. This ring has been soaking in this murky citric acid bath for less than an hour. As for the solution, when it turns green normally, it's a sign to change it. And don't worry, I'll do mine after this video. Someone left a comment asking me to show the moment I take the piece out of the acid bath. So here it is. After less than an hour, it's still a bit stained, but don't worry, it will not last long. I can wipe the stain with the clean cloth and normally it will go away. Diary keepers, I am so happy that the solder is finally successful. After 2 attempts, thanks God. I just wanted to give it the last adjustment before I harden it here. I'm using the parallel pliers as well as the flat nose pliers. I want to make sure that the circle is nice and flat and that the shape is harmonious. Diary keepers, please don't be shocked. I know you will be. I'm now flattening the ring altogether because I wasn't happy with the circle shape. Do you see this one side on the left? It looked like at the beginning of the teardrop and I want to make it more like a T-shape instead. I'm running it on the mandrel and hammering it with the wooden hammer to see if it can change anything. I know that I'm taking a risk, but I hope that is the risk that worth to take. I return back the shape using parallel pliers, and here I want to make sure that the ring has the perfect circle shape, so I'm running it on the mandrel and hammering it with wooden mallet. Next is the texturing using the goldsmith hammer. One thing to keep in mind, if you want to add texture to this ring using a hammer, it's better to start with a size smaller. For example, if the requested size is in size 7, make it in size 6. That's because hammering on the mandrel will naturally stretch and enlarge the ring, just like what happened to me here. The last step is to polish this open circle ring to shine. One great thing about working with gold-filled material is that we avoid using abrasives. So, after shaping, we can go straight to polishing. Of course, things can still go wrong during the process. For example, excess solder can leave an ugly lump on the piece. But that's a topic we can dive into another time. If you are interested, let me know in the comment below. We can talk about it on the next video. This is the final result with the 13mm diameter circle in rose gold felt. This ring is for sure too big for a little girl, so I made another one with a smaller circle. This time I made it in one size smaller. While I may keep the large circle one, I like it and it looks good on my hand. If you are interested to purchase this, they are available on my Etsy shop. Disclaimer for the ring size 7.5 and above, I will make the ring in a bigger circle, and for the ring in size 7 and below, I can make it in a smaller circle which is 1 centimeter.
Keepers, I hope that you like the ring and we'll try to make one at home. So you're welcome to make them, to copy them, because it's not I'm not saying that you cannot use it because I'm not saying that if it's mine then you cannot use it, if it's not mine then you can use it. No, I've seen this style a lot in the other creators, and I even see this style of earrings in the store. There is definitely not from silver or copper, it's just like something very cheap, but I just love the style, so I decided to make it. So So I feel like this style is more like a t-shirt version of the jewelry that everybody can wear, everybody can use it. It's just like hoops. So everybody can wear hoops, right? Everybody can make hoops. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share as much as you like, especially for those who are interested to start making jewelry. That this video hopefully will be very useful for the person. Stay creative and be kind to yourself and others, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.